first womb transplant. A 40-year-old woman has successfully donated her womb to her childless younger sister, who's 34, after she was born with a rare condition that means the womb is either underdeveloped or indeed missing.
We believe there's an actual war going on between the cis community and the alphabet community. I strongly believe that a lot of cis women who are actually birth women are being manipulated into being replaced by that community. Let's talk about it.
And now, as I said, it's a first for the UK, but worldwide around 50 babies have been born after womb transplants. It's an absolute medical phenomenon, isn't it? And it's an extraordinary procedure.
I mean, I think I was blown away. I mean, until this morning, I didn't know that there had been other successful womb transplants, and I think it's incredible. Also, if I'm right, these surgeons did this as a sort of free of charge thing. This isn't something that's available on the
not on the NHS,
which is
£25,000 a cost.
Yeah,
is that what it paid for by charity?
Yeah. I mean,
this is a wonderful achievement for actual women who are born that way and who are having problems with conceiving children. But I don't believe that this was the main purpose of this discovery.
I personally, because I guess for the woman giving, it's a hysterectomy, isn't it? I haven't had a hysterectomy, but I've never been like some people who feel it's sort of, you know, they feel less of a woman if they didn't have a womb. To me, if I'd had my children and my sister, for example, had needed that, I would have, without a doubt, given it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the key thing, though, that you said, I've had my children.
Yes.
It's
I wouldn't have given her if I hadn't had me.
No, but what I'm saying is a hysterectomy is a big deal to a woman who hasn't had children.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I mean. A hysterectomy, to me, it's a big operation, and I get that. But I've always thought if I had to have one, I wouldn't feel less of a woman, like some people do. And I've been very fortunate to have my kids. I personally would have gone, I think, because I was so broody and so desperate for a child, I don't know what it's like to have that desire and not for it to be fulfilled, but I think it's incredible. Obviously, it comes down to if you can afford it as well. I think I would have gone to any lengths to have a child.
First, this surgery will be classified as an elective surgery. Insurance companies would not pay for this under any circumstance. So why would anyone invest in this type of research? I'll tell you, for the same reason why there is no cure for AIDS or cancer. There is no profit in finding cures. The money is made by managing symptoms.
As you say,
I want to give them back half the time, but I wouldn't have gone to any length.
As you say, this was being funded by a charity, Gloria, but I kind of... So there's another one being done in the autumn, I think, and in Sweden, actually, someone's had a baby who's had a womb transplant, so it's, you know...
Yeah, there have been several babies born.
It is absolutely incredible, but going forward, I wonder how it will be funded, because if it is only going to be funded privately, then there's a real division there between rich and poor, you know, who can afford it, who can't. If it is going to eventually be done on the NHS, then I was looking online today, you know, a lot of people who thought this was funded by the NHS mistakenly were like, yeah, but hang on, what about all these other things that are being put on hold because the NHS hasn't got any money? So, you know, it's a complex issue.
It's interesting that when you analyse it all, because of course there are some women who don't want children, want to sort of say that at the top, and they make that decision, and that's fine. But going back in the day, you know, in Northern Ireland, for example, where I was growing up, really by 19 or 20, then you expected to be engaged, taken, a bit of a ring on your finger, and looking forward to getting married, and definitely looking forward to having children. But now, like in recent time, because life has changed, and again, it's young girls' decisions, but a lot of girls are saying, well, I'll have my career first of all, whereas back in the day with me, careers were only just beginning to build up for women. And then they leave it to maybe their 30s and then are very disappointed that they can't have a baby naturally.
Yeah.
And so things have changed. But I've said in the programme many, many times, and I can understand how people are desperate to have IVF or whatever. To me, having children is the best thing I've ever done in my life. And the older you get, the more you actually appreciate that. And I definitely would have had more. If I could live my life again, I would.
You would have had more?
I definitely.
Do you see where these women are going with this? In this case, the money is made in selling this service to people who are wealthy or are desperate to pay any price to have the ability to conceive a child. I'm going to be back in a moment, but I want you to hear what all these women on this panel are saying about this.
It's like, yeah, it's funny because one of the women that rang into the charity was a young woman who said, I don't want to have children, so I will happily donate my womb. And I was thinking, oh no, you're too young to make that decision, you know, because quite often you say when you're young, don't you? And then you suddenly get to like 35 and go.
But here's an interesting point. 500 women to this charity have already offered and volunteered their wombs. And
that's what I was just saying, yeah.
Denise and I, we won't be needing ours from here on in, so maybe we should put our names on the volunteers.
Because you have, Gloria, a womb with a view.
Well, I would like to see yours, that's for sure.
Because you have a sister. I don't have a sibling. Would you give your womb to your sister?
100% would.
Yeah.
I genuinely, I would absolutely do it. If it was helping you to get your children.
I honestly think I would have, you know, even adoption, which is not for everybody. But it's interesting how when you get older and you reflect on things. My sister has 3 wonderful grown-up children, and she was an incredible mom. It is an incredible mom. But she said, I used to pray that if only one of us could have children, it would be you, because you wanted them so much, you know, which is a really nice thing to say. Luckily, she did go on to have 3 healthy children. So I think that we both would have, you know, done that. When I say I didn't want more children, I just find, Gloria, you think that the hard days are when they're little. It's the emotional stress you go through. Every breakup, every heartache, every job they don't get.
It's like, parent is all about.
I know, but it's hard work, Gloria. Stress.
I know, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm older than you are, so you have to listen to me.
I would also.
Because the thing is, as you get older, you really appreciate more and more. And I've always loved my children dearly, but you appreciate more and more the closer you get to that, you know, under the bus day. How wonderful they've been.
And what grandchildren
and the
hopefully...
development of the family, the grandchildren, and then the grandchildren having babies.
Wait till you see what home they've chosen for you, and then I'll ask you the same.
I'll tell you how nice my children are.
But it's a wonderful, for all of the issues we spoke about, is that it costs a lot of money at this stage and everything else. And there's that part of this, but just as a movement in terms of medical science, it's a remarkable achievement, I think. And for all of the various issues that people have struggling. I mean, with surrogacy 50 years ago, whatever, you'd never have thought that was possible. And we hear that much more. Now, I would do that for my sister now. I definitely.
Would you carry for you?
These women, who all happen to be rich and have children of their own, are trying to convince other women to donate their organs. It almost feels like they are stockholders in the company. We all know which community would be the biggest benefactor of this type of scientific breakthrough. It's the wealthy alphabet community. This is the reason for the alphabet community's obsession with labeling gender-born women as cis women. Gender-born women are aligning themselves with the alphabet community simultaneously while being gaslighted into fighting men so you can become the modern-day women you are. Single, lonely, and promiscuous. They would love to take your place and trick men into believing they are you. None of this is a coincidence, but you guys let me know what you think. Ladies, I'd love to hear your opinions. Don't forget to subscribe and share.